have the seller pay for the cost of those services, or it could be the buyer paying directly for those services, or a combination of any of those. And for sellers, sellers have choice too. They have choice in what that offer of compensation is. There is no set rate, there is no predetermined amount. So to that point, please avoid presenting consumers with contracts that are already pre-filled. Leave those compensation fields blank. Those are conversations you need to have with the consumer, with the client, about what the compensation is, and the choice that sellers have regarding the offer of compensation. As I said, there's no set amount. Sellers can decide, and it's on the realtor to educate the seller as to why they might want to elect to make an offer of compensation and how that will work to their benefit in the transaction. And then you can codify that in the agreement. And just one other word of caution I want to add is that realtors should never suggest to a seller that if they do not make a certain amount of an offer of compensation, that other realtors will steer buyers away from their property. Katie mentioned it, and I'm going to mention it again. Article 1 is our guiding light. Realtors work in the best interest of their clients, and we always need to keep that as our primary focus.
Thanks, Leslie. Okay, another question. Turning to clients, what can realtors be telling them about the verdict? We are going to hear in just a couple minutes from President Tracy, who's going to give you more guidance on that. Hear it straight from the brokers who are having to navigate those conversations with clients on a daily basis. And before she does that, I'm just going to highlight a couple themes that you've certainly heard from the three of us in our brief time together today. Choice. Your future marketing plan and conversations with consumers should include the word choice and the explanation about how consumers have choice. And if they make the right choice and choose the best option, which is working for you, then that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we need to make sure that they understand that there is choice when it comes to all the various aspects of their representation that Leslie just highlighted. Clarity, make sure that is part of your future state plan as well. Revisit all of your talking points with your clients. Revisit your training, your scripts, everything. Is it clear the services you're providing? Is it clear what the consumer's expectations can be with regards to navigating this transaction with you? Refresh choice and clarity. Also, Article 1, we've said that a million times, and it's so basic, but so true. You guys know you must always serve the best interests of consumers. So in all of your decision making, having Article 1 as the standard that you check, your gut check against will certainly benefit you and your clients in the years to come. And then last, I just want to say opportunity. You know, these are really challenging times. As I said at the outset, this is definitely a point in time where you and me are all tested in adversity. How we react to the adversity really demonstrates the kind of people that we are. So you could look at this challenge and see it as an opportunity to differentiate yourself from others, from competitors and colleagues in your area, an opportunity to improve your practices, an opportunity to think creatively and do things differently, using this delta, this point in time, as a launch pad for innovation. It's really, the sky is your limit. I know that sounds kind of weird when we're also talking about a $1.78 billion judgment, but as Leslie said, we are going to focus on the legal consequences of that and keeping you out of the legal fray as much as we can. And hopefully that frees up your ability to focus on this as opportunity to succeed and excel on behalf of your consumers even more.
I think another question that may be on your mind, and certainly you're probably getting a lot of questions from the consumers that you're working with, is just how it is that they can understand how compensation works, right? What can you do to make clear to your clients and to your consumers how compensation works? And I'm going to build on what Katie said. This is an opportunity. This is a pivotal moment for all of us to really maximize transparency. We need to double down on that. And so some of the things that you can do to ensure that that happens is that you want to express that commissions are negotiable and that that's set between the broker and their client. You want to clearly explain how it is that you get paid. How does the compensation structure works? And what it is that you were expecting to get paid. What is your value, right? And then you need to talk to them about what the multiple listing service is. No one should think the letters MLS, right, first stands for Major League Soccer. The multiple listing service has been around for more than 100 years, benefiting consumers. And you need to talk to them and let them know that it is a local broker marketplace, that it provides transparency, it provides equity, it provides access, it promotes market-driven pricing, and that it also furthers consumer choice, right? And then you need to also communicate about the value consumers receive by working with you. You are realtors. Not all real estate licensees are realtors. By being a realtor, you have committed to operate on a higher standard. You've heard about the Code of Ethics. The Code of Ethics means that you are always acting in the best interest of your consumers. It's a standard that is higher than what even license law requires. So make sure your consumers know who it is that's sitting across from them when it's a realtor. And then lastly, I want you to check out a resource called realestatecommissionfacts.com. It is a one-stop shop resource that explains how the compensation works and how it works to the benefit of consumers. It is concise and it is comprehensive, and it is something that you should be using and pointing consumers to. You can also use it and share it with your agents to serve as talking points when you have that important discussion at that kitchen table with your consumers.
All right, so another question that is likely on your mind is, what does the verdict mean for buyer representation? Is it a thing of the past? At trial, the jury heard that buyer representation came out of a need from consumers wanting representation, a loyal representative to guide them through this transaction, and consumer advocates calling for it. No, buyer representation is not a thing of the past, but I want to reiterate what Charlie and Katie have said here about transparency and choice. The verdict does not require any change to our rules, and it also it does not change anything about our rules. It also does not change the choice that buyers and sellers have when working. But we do need to double down on the transparency and the conversations that realtors are having with consumers, so that buyers who want to work with a buyer representative understand what the services are that they're going to receive and the value that the buyer brings, as well as how they're going to be compensated. NAR very much believes in buyer representation and how the offer of compensation, the cooperative compensation rule, works for the benefit of buyers and sellers. And we hope ultimately we will get the right decision in this case. But in the meantime, transparency, choice, and clarity is what you should focus on to continue to demonstrate your value as buyer representatives.
And also there's that new resource that is live today, right?
It is, yeah.
I think it's called 105 Ways Buyer Representatives Are Worth Every Penny. You guys may be familiar with the 179 Ways document that really focus on the good work and effort of and services of listing brokers. But go to competition.realtor and check out the 105 ways that buyer brokers are providing services day in and day out for their buyers as well. And use that in your conversations as well with the buyers. It's getting hot in here. It's getting real hot in here, let me tell you. Hot seat for sure. So let me just end with one final question before we ask Tracy to come back up here with some more conversational tips with talking to your consumers. And I guess the last question is, so what's next? And just to recap where we are, there's several lanes we're following here. there's a legal lane that is mostly driven and navigated by top legal experts. Antitrust experts, trial experts, appellate experts who understand the real estate business and understand our desire to resolve all of these matters, copycats included, in a way that allows buyers to continue to access and afford buyer representation and eliminates liability for our members. There's another lane called opportunity, and that's what every member is following and driving and has the chance to really turn this into positive forward momentum for them and their business. And then there's another lane called member value, association value, and this is really talking to the local, state, and national associations. This is our opportunity to really focus on our messaging about the value that we bring to our members and to real estate professionals and why they would want to choose to belong to the Realtor organization. So with that, I think that you know that there are many resources available for you. Competition.realtor, we will continue to update it with litigation updates and progression, so check that frequently. Check out realestatecommissionfacts.com and check out those new resources I just mentioned about buyer representation services. And send us your questions. If you know where to find us, please be friendly in the approach of those questions. I would greatly appreciate it. And but know that we're here to help you. That's all we want to do, and that's all we strive to do day in and day out. So let us know what you need, and we will continue to try to serve your best interest and the best interest of the consumers that you serve. So with that, I'll just welcome back our president, Tracy Casper.
So help me really fast. Just thank Katie and Leslie and Charlie for everything that they've done.